mortgage rates, buyer's market, seller's market. Like, what is going on out there? First, you hear this from one person, then you hear that from another person. If you're not driving yourself crazy, like I am some days, like what the heck is going on around here? And especially down in the Florida area, we've seen a bunch of different things happening, as is all over the United States. So if you are looking to move to the Tampa Bay area and maybe wondering like, what is the market doing? And please help me understand where we are with rates and details and all the stuff that has to do with this fun topic, then stick with me today and we're going to talk all about it. Let's go. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about the St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay area, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification in case you want to know all about what's going on in the current market. My name is Gina. My team and I, we've been helping people just like you move to the area for the last 11 years. So if you are looking to make a move, want to know more information about the area, all of our information is down in the description box below, and you can reach out to us at any time. All right, so like I mentioned, if you're wondering what the heck is going on out there, where the market is, and all that jazz, well, then you're going to love hearing from my partner, Eric White. He's going to take you through all the details of the current market right now and give you the lowdown. So without further delay, I am going to pass you on over, Eric.
Hi, friends. So today we want to bring you something completely new and exciting to the channel. At least some people think it's exciting. But we want to start sharing information with you about home prices, mortgage rates, inventory, and even foreclosures, and what that means to you as a buyer, seller, or even both. So today we're going to talk about mortgage rates. Are they going up? Are they going down? Or are they going sideways? So stay tuned and we'll jump right in. So obviously mortgage rates play a huge role in whether participants take part in the real estate market, and currently rates are in the 7+% range, and there's a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines right now and a lot of confusion. And the last time we saw rates in the 7% range was going all the way back to 2002, and that's about 20 plus years ago. So there's a lot of people not knowing what to do. So this was real interesting and kind of shows a little bit more about mortgage rates and what it consists of. So typically the 30-year mortgage rate has moved in unison with the 10-year treasury bond. And if you look all the way back to 1972, you can see this information. And what this is showing is the spread. The spread is the difference between the 10-year treasury yield, which is this blue line, and the spread, which is what the bank is charging the interest on top of that 10-year. And you can see going all the way back, decades and decades, that average spread was about 1.72%. Now, if we jump current times, we can see at the beginning of 2023, that spread was 2.7. And then on top of the higher 10-year treasury yield, you add those two up there and you're up there at, over 6% here. And you can see going into May that both the 10-year yield and the spread were both even higher, putting it at about 6.5%. And jumping a few months ahead here into August, which I'm recording this, the rates are even into the sevens. But you can see on average that spread is 2.961, which, that's a whole point more than it was all those decades going back. So again, illustrating this, you can see that the blue is the 10-year treasury yield. And then you can see on top here where that spread can impact the rate. You can see here, the rate of the 3.2 puts it up higher, closer to a 7. And then, the different occurrences of changing that spread on top and what it does on the impact. And obviously, like I said right now, with the higher treasury note yield and then also the higher spread, we're up into the 7s. So that, along with the Fed hype to stave off inflation, that's why we're seeing these high rates. So here's some mortgage projections. So there is light at the end of the tunnel here based on these projections. So going into the fourth quarter of 2023, looks like we could possibly expect a 6.27% rate. going into the first quarter of 2024, 6.07% going into the second quarter of 2024. We can expect it to finally, hopefully, break into the lower, below 6% at 5.9%, and then also in about a year from now on Q3 of 2024, 5.73%. And that 6% is going to be a pretty important number as the number of participants, the buyers getting active in the market again could really pick up in. And we're already low on inventory. So if we get down into those lower rates, we're going to see the impact of even less inventory. And we'll talk more about inventory on further video. So here is our inflation, and we can see that, it's really high about a year ago, 8.9% inflation. And then we get to more current times here, we're down around 3%. It looks like the target for the Fed, and the reason why we're having these hikes is to get it down around the 2% range here. So looks like that's the magic number. And then once we get down around that 2% range, then we can see the hikes. Hopefully they stop doing the Fed hikes. And then the 10-year yield will also adjust. And then also on top of that, the spreads from the banks will adjust. And we'll get an overall lowering of that rate as we, move through time here. Okay. And just an interesting note here, again, we said that 2% was kind of the magic number, and it might be like, hey, why don't we just, stop now with the Fed hike and just stop and see where it takes us here? Well, look what happened back in 1970s. We had the really high inflation, 12.2%, got down here and around 4%, and they laid off the adjustments. And you can see what happened. It actually rebounded and went higher than what it was originally at 12.2. It went all the way up to almost, over 14%. So again, I think they're being really careful here. They want to make sure that these inflation rates, get down at 2s and really stabilize before they lay off any hikes. So again, we can see here that as inflation is controlled and we bring the inflation rate down, the mortgage rates will typically follow suit behind it. You can see all through the decades, again, going all the way back to the 70s, that this is a typical occurrence. So friends, hopefully you found that information useful, exciting, possibly. Hopefully it didn't put you to sleep, but it is about mortgage rates and inflation, and it is very important, especially if you're a buyer right now. As we know, there's a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines because of the higher rates. And geez, there's a guy named Warren Buffett who, boy, he made billions and billions of dollars doing what the rest of the crowd didn't do, the opposite. And that might be a good strategy right now when there's many buyers sitting on the sideline. Be active out there looking, because there actually is more inventory. Boy, when those rates get down into the 6s and the 5s, it's going to be super active, and it could be a buyer frenzy out there. So it might be a good idea to reach out, get out there, and be active looking.
Thanks for sticking with us, you guys. As always, throw your comments below. We would love to answer them. And as always, we will see you next time. Bye.